What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. I'm so excited for today's video. I'm going to be showing you guys some newness from Guerlain. I have 3 of the 4 newly reformulated Meteorites, and I also have the new limited edition spring eyeshadow quad in Aura Glow. And we're not only going to be creating this look on my face today, friends. Oh no, because I also have in this video today my beautiful mother. I'm in my 30s and she is in her 60s. So we're going to be showing you guys today in natural light how all of these products work on both of our skin types. So if you want to hang out with me and my mom today and see how these products work out, then keep watching. All right, friends, we're going to be kicking things off with the Guerlain Meteorites. We'll be doing demo swatches, everything with these, and then we will get into the limited edition eyeshadow palette. Timestamps will be down below. So let's start things off with the Meteorites. If you've never tried these before, if you've never even heard of them, if you don't know what they are, this is a very iconic product from Guerlain. They've been around for years, and for good reason, because a lot of people really like them. They are described on the Guerlain website as finishing pearls of powder that set makeup, color correct, mattify, shine, and illuminate the complexion. So they normally come in a little tin just like this. The design has changed over the years. We're going to get into this in just a second. You open it up, okay? We have a little powder puff just like this. It says Guerlain on it, and then inside there you guys see the little pearls, and each one of those pearls has a different color, and essentially you swirl your little brush in there and you buff it all over the face. It is a finishing powder. It kind of blurs the face. It adds some illumination. It adds a little bit of color depending on the shade that you use. Remember, I have 3 of the shades that we're going to be demoing today on both me and my mom. I feel like it just does a really great job of kind of setting my makeup and slightly blurring any imperfections, but don't worry, you guys will see for yourself in just a second. So you guys already heard me say that these are reformulated. So the question is, what is different about them, okay? And I was a little bit confused as well, so I did my research and I'm gonna break it down for you guys. The first thing that is different is obviously the packaging. And it seems like, guys, this is not limited edition for spring. This is the new permanent line packaging, as well as the 4 shades that you see on the Guerlain website right now. Let me tell you guys, I think that this packaging is absolutely scrumptious. I think it is so cute, so feminine, so playful. I feel like after I'm done with this, I could use this almost as like a little jewelry box or something to store, I don't know, like little bits and bobs, toiletries, that kind of stuff. Similarly, you guys saw the little powder puff that I showed you a second ago. With the old Meteorites, you kind of just got this like little piece of foam that I guess held the Meteorites in place so that they wouldn't break. So I do like the fact that you have an actual powder puff. Slightly related, but not exactly. There also is a new brush that pairs along with these guys. It has the same little design on the tip of the brush. It's really, really cute. I have not been able to purchase that yet. It has been sold out. I don't think it's a must-have. I'm going to be using my Sonia G Smooth Buffer, which is one of my preferred brushes in the demos of this video. I will link it down below, but I just want to let you know that's also something that's like different about these. The other thing that is different is the amount of product that you get. So taking a look at the ones that came out for holiday this past year, this has 22 grams of product, and these new ones have 20 grams of product. So just a little bit less, okay? You're getting the powder puff, but then you're getting less product. So that's something to keep in mind. In terms of the shades that these come in 4 different shades, and there is one new shade that is called Pearly White. I'm going to be showing you guys all the shades that I have in swatches and everything in just a second. But just so you know, the first shade, 01 Pearly White, that one is net new. The other 3 shades that they have in the collection, it's still a little bit unclear to me. They are the same shades, but they might have tweaked the colors just a little bit. I will tell you guys from my own experience, just swatching side by side, the 02 from the new line and the 02 from the old line. I'll show you a swatch right here. I can't tell the difference, okay? I cannot tell the difference between the colors. I also do not see, friends, a difference in the ingredients. I just looked at them side by side, the old and the new, and it seems like the ingredients are exactly the same. So what else is different about these other than like the whole powder puff, the amount of product that you get, and also the packaging? The other main difference is the fragrance. As you guys know, Guerlain is first and foremost a fragrance house, so pretty much everything that they launch is very, very heavily fragranced, and these are fragranced as well, okay? It really is a part of the experience. It is very iconic and they're very fun to use, and I do feel like swirling your brush around the pearls and kind of smelling that fragrance is a part of that experience. So what's different about this fragrance? I would say that the older one, the original one, smelled a little bit more kind of powdery, a little bit more baby powder. It's a mixture of violet and other florals. I would say violet and rose mostly. We still have have the violet and florals in this one. You still get some powderiness, but I would say that this scent, it is a little bit deeper, more mature. They added sandalwood, musk, and vanilla, and you definitely can smell that here. It's just a little bit more woodsy, and I have to say I do prefer the new scent. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video. And by the way, guys, in case you are curious, there is no talc in any of the products that I'm going to be reviewing today. So now that we have that out of the way, let's take a look at the 3 shades that we're going to be reviewing for you guys today. The first one here is 01 Pearly White. This is the one that is brand new, and this is described as white, rosy, and beige pearls to illuminate the fairest skin tones. I will definitely say this is going to be for those of you who are like my skin tone and fair. This is a little bit too light to put all over my mom's face because she's maybe like a shade or two darker than me. I think that this is going to be great if you have a very fair complexion, if you want to brighten the face, and you guys are going to see me use this under the eyes and just places where I want a little bit more illumination. What I will say, guys, when you're taking a look at these swatches, keep in mind when you see them swatched on the hand, they look very sparkly, but it's going to look a lot different, as you can see on my face right here, when you actually blend them into the skin. Next up, I have right here shade 02, which is called Cool, and this is described as a harmony of pastel shades designed to even out fair skin tones. This is going to be the best everyday shade for both me and my mom. It is called Cool, but I feel like this one, it's probably the most neutral out of the 4 shades. I feel like this one's probably going to be the most universal, whether you are fair to light, even kind of like medium complexion. You see all of the different pastel shades there that kind of mix together to give a really luminous, beautiful look to the skin without creating too much of a cast. And lastly, we have number 04. This is called Amber, and this is described as a harmony of intense shades for dark skin tones. And this, guys, is going to be a good finishing powder if you have deep skin tones. You're probably wondering, why did I buy this one? I purchased this one because I was really curious if I could use this as a blush or almost like a bronzer for me and my mom. This is what I'm wearing on my skin today. So buckle up, guys, because this one's a goodie. You're going to want to see how we use this in the demo today. And with that, friends, let's get into the demo. Before I show you what these look like on my face, however, I want to do a quick demo that I did for my sister. I did this demo for her because she was very confused about what this product was. And once I did it, she asked me to order the Météorites for her. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for you guys today. Essentially, I want to show you the backs of my hands. I have a little bit of discoloration here. You know, my hands aren't perfect. I'm 33. They've had some sun exposure, all that good stuff. If I put the Météorites on my right hand and really buff it in, I just want to show you guys the side by side here. You can see on my right hand, it is just more illuminated. You don't see as much darkness from the veins. You don't see as much kind of splotchiness on the backs of my hands. That is really what the Météorites do, in addition to setting your makeup. I feel like sometimes just because our faces have, you know, curves and dips to them, sometimes it's a little bit hard to really see that side by side, and using the backs of my hands is a really great way to do that. So comment down below and let me know what you think of that little demonstration. And now finally, we're going to be putting these products on my face. I'm going to show you the demo on my face real quick, and then we're going to be doing a live demo in a second with my mom. So starting off with me, guys, I went in on one side of my face with the 01 Pearly White. I'm buffing it into the skin once again with my Sonia G Smooth Buffer. Great brush for the Météorites. And I feel like this, it is maybe a little bit paler than what I would go for all over the face. However, you guys can see it gives a really beautiful radiant finish. I definitely think that this shade works for me, but I kind of prefer this, as I mentioned before, a little bit more as like an under eye brightener. So you guys can see me applying this to the under eye, and hopefully you can tell right there a little bit of the difference. It adds a little bit of illumination, a little bit of brightness, and it also is really good for setting the eyeshadow. I just felt like the eyeshadow went on so smoothly once I put this one on as a base. Next up, we have shade 02 on my skin tone. Like I said, this one is gonna have more of like a fleshy tone. It's gonna be more neutral, whereas the 01 was more of a white. This is the one that I think I'm gonna be using the most for every day, probably the most universal, and the one that we will use on my mom in just a second. So you guys can see right here what this looks like on my skin tone. And then I will also show you guys here a side by side of the 01 and the 02 in daylight. Yeah, I feel like it's not really coming across on camera that much. The difference is very, very subtle, guys, very subtle. So if you're like really going in between the two and you have a fair skin tone, you could probably go either way. I don't see such a huge difference even in the camera right now. So just kind of know that, guys, the difference is very subtle when you're looking at these two lighter shades. And then finally, friends, this is the 04 powder, which is called Amber, and I'm going to be using this as a blush. This just looks so beautiful and rosy and natural. If you're looking for that sort of lit from within type of look, I think you're really going to enjoy this. You can see right here the blush on half of my face and then nothing on the other side. So gorgeous. Can't wait for you guys to see me put this on my mom. So comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this idea of using it as a blush. And then before we get into the demo with my mom, friends, I just want to show you a quick clip of what my makeup looked like at the end of the day. Just kind of like a wear test. I wore this for, I want to say, at least 8 hours, and it was very rainy, and you know, it was a whole day wear test for the most part, and I feel like my makeup really stayed put with the powders there in place. I still had all of the radiance that I had before, and spoiler alert, the eyeshadow also wore really well too. There's no creasing, so I just wanted to show you that quick wear test as well, because I feel like that's important. All right, so those were the Meteorites on my skin type, and now we're going to be getting into the live demo with my beautiful mother, Caitlin, so let's get into that. All right, friends, here is my mom. Say hello, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
We're going to be using the 02 on her face. We are filming right now in natural light, so you guys are going to see this hyper realistic, I hope. I just have my little Sonia G Smooth buffer here, and we are going to buff these onto her face. I'm using the 02 because my mom is a little bit tanner than me. I think that this color will work a little bit better for her. We already have a layer of foundation on. What foundation are you wearing? Clé de Peau?
Yes.
The Clé de Peau cream foundation. We will link that down below. It's both of our favorites, so I'm just buffing this in a nice light layer. So you guys can kind of see that slight little blurring. I'm gonna put a little bit more on. And you can kind of see on the cheekbone right here, it's a little bit easier to see the radiance that you get, but it just does kind of like a nice job of smoothing everything out.
It literally makes me look polished.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty amazing once you're done your full makeup. I feel like I notice the difference. Maybe you can turn your head this way, Mom, towards me so they can see it without anything on. Okay, so this is with no powder, and then this is with the powder. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna apply this now to the other side. I love this Sonia G Smooth buffer for this purpose. I do have a whole video, guys, on the best brushes to use for products like the Guerlain Meteorites and also Chanel blushes, Dior eyeshadows, Tom Ford eyeshadows, basically all of our favorite popular luxury beauty products. I have tons of brush recommendations. I will say I prefer this more on the cheeks and the forehead, but I don't like it as much on the nose because I
was wondering why you weren't doing my nose.
I feel like the nose is, you know, typically, you know, you have more curvature there, so I feel like the shininess is very pronounced. So I would recommend, friends, to just put a regular setting powder on the nose and use this more for where you have kind of like discoloration.
It looks nice.
You like it?
Yeah, it sort of just peps me up.
Peps you up, okay.
Like I had a good night's sleep.
Right now I'm gonna go into the lightest shade, 01, the White Pearl, and I like to use this to brighten up the under eyes. So I'm just gonna do a little bit right here in this kind of tear duct region where my mom has a little bit of darkness, just like I did on myself a second ago. I'm also just gonna slightly sweep my brush underneath her eye to smooth out any little bit of concealer that's settled there. Maybe you can kind of, yeah, just turn there so you guys can see the difference in how this eye is slightly brighter. And in fact, I think I'm gonna go just a little bit more right there so that it kind of catches the light.
Yeah.
So you guys can see the before and after.
It makes that natural, I hate to say bag, but you know, all of us as we get older tend to form that.
Yeah, I mean, even I
sort of,
have it right there, but I already applied it.
It smooths it out. It's an optical illusion. It makes it look like there isn't that indentation.
Actually, can you close your eyes? I'm just gonna set your eyes a little bit because we are gonna do the eyeshadow palette after this. I really liked the way that the eyeshadows went on top of the eyes, at least when I tested it out yesterday. I really liked how this kind of set and it didn't crease. which is, I mean, I don't feel like the Guerlain eyeshadows normally crease, but I noticed that before I went in with the eyeshadow, everything was just so perfectly set.
So do you think that using a product like this right under my eyes, where I tend to get creasing from the under eye concealer, that this would help?
Yes, I definitely think so. I would probably use the 02 for that because I wouldn't want something so bright, at least for your skin tone, right out here. So that's why I'm going more so right there. But yes, it does a really good job at setting as well. All right, friends, so the final shade that we have to test on my mom is the 04 Amber, and I'll have you take a look at that, Mom. This is
pretty.
deeper, and I thought we would try this out as a blush. I love the way that it looks on me, and I think that it's gonna look really nice on you too, because I always get questions from my subscribers of like, what's a really good natural blush? This one works well. It has obviously like a little bit of glow because it's the Meteorites, but it's not gonna be as shiny as the RMS ones that you like. Some people don't like those because they just feel like they're a little bit too glowy. I would say this is a really good alternative if you want almost kind of like a lit from within type of look. Just get a little bit more on there.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I love it. Wow, your skin looks really good. I'm loving this in the natural light. You want to turn to the left? Yeah, so it just gives like a nice sculpt to the face, and then turn to the right so they can see it without. I like that. I feel like they need to make more shades of this. Like this one has that pink undertone, which is nice, but I feel like they could just make, I know that Guerlain already has the terracotta bronzers, but I feel like this would be so popular if they made meteorite bronzers that was basically a glowy version of the terracotta bronzers. I like this so much better. Like it's so subtle. I feel like I like.
Feels very light too.
Yeah, yeah. They just launched new blushes. They have, I think it's 6 or 7 new blushes that I reviewed, and they're really, really nice. But I must say, like, I feel like this is even better than any of the blushes that they launched. They should come out with more shades so more people can use this as like a bronzer or whatever. This color looks very, very good on your skin tone. All right, so here's the finished look, friends, with all 3 of the powders. We have some concealer and foundation as a base. I feel like it looks really good, and now we're gonna go in and do the eye look after this. What do you think so far?
I like it. I think it really looks pretty.
Which shades do you think you would buy if you were to like spend your own money on these?
I think all of them, because I really like what it did under the eye. I do like the blush. I probably would put a little bit less, but of course I'm looking at myself in such close quarters. If I stand back, it might look
exactly
a little bit more like myself.
Right.
And it wasn't difficult. It seemed very easy to use.
Awesome. All right, friends, I hope that you enjoyed that demo with my mom. We are not done yet, though. We're going to be getting into the limited edition eyeshadow palette. This is for spring 2024, so it's not going to be around forever, and it is called Aura Glow. And it says here on the Guerlain website that this palette was inspired by the colors of light diffraction. So they created a palette infused with pearlizers with multiple reflections, 4 luminous and metallic shades for radiant eyes. So this palette, as you can kind of tell from just looking at the pans, there's no mattes. These are all going to be very luminous, very pearlized. You can kind of see on my eyes right here in the finished look. And taking a look at the swatches right here, you guys will see we have an intense metallic plum, a fresh and metallic pink, a holographic white with bluish reflections, and a metallic copper orange with rosy reflection. So I kind of thought when I saw the promo photos that the white shade was going to be this sort of duochrome, very luminous pearlized topper shade, when in fact the whole palette actually is very, very luminous. That is the theme of this collection, and it kind of makes sense because they launched them alongside the reformulation of the Meteorites, so overall it's supposed to be a very like glowy aura type of theme to this spring collection. And with that, friends, let's get into the demo of this palette. So to create the look that I'm wearing here today, I first went in with the lighter pink shade. This is described as a metallic copper orange with rosy reflections. I would not say that this is coppery or orangey at all, guys. If you're sort of worried by that description, because I know a lot of us, we don't want like super reddish colors on our eyes, I just want to tell you, it's not coppery orange. I would say that this is more of like a pinky peach with a little bit of like a light gold shift. It's very subtle. It is not harsh on the eyes at all. I put that all over the lid. I feel like it's a really beautiful one and done shade. Then I went into the slightly deeper shade. It has a very rosy quality to it, Once again, it is gonna be shimmery. There's no mattes in this palette, but I think that the formula is still like really, you know, soft enough that you can use these in the crease, kind of like a Dior shadow. Then I went into the deeper plum shade and I used the little applicator that comes with the palette and I essentially applied it as a liner, kind of winging it out just a little bit so I can have a little bit, you know, more of like a cat eye effect. This is gonna be pretty soft. You know, you're not gonna get like a super smoky look from this, but I do appreciate this color to add a little bit more depth. And then finally, friends, I went into the beautiful iridescent white shade, and this is going to be perfect for adding any kind of highlight. I applied this to the center of the eye a little bit, but mostly to the inner corner, really just kind of opening everything up. I really like to blend it and drag it kind of into the center of the eye, up and towards the eyebrow, and then a little bit here kind of in the tear duct region to just brighten everything up. I applied some brown mascara for softness, guys, and this is the final look on my eyes. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the textures of these shadows. I really like the way that it turned out. And with that, friends, now we're gonna be demoing this palette on my mom. Okay, so here is the eyeshadow palette, Mom. This is called Aura Glow. What are your first impressions of this? Because you don't know.
Gorgeous, beautiful colors.
Okay.
That I have no idea what to do with.
You like pinks.
Yes, and I love that copper and that the purple color. They look like suede.
They do look like suede, you're right, in the pan. I'm gonna do kind of like a similar look, probably, that I did to myself using your brushes. We've got some BK Beauty brushes here that my mom loves. And I'm first gonna go into the softer pink shade right here. So I'm gonna have you turn your head a little bit, Mom. Turn that way. And I'm just gonna do kind of like a light wash of color.
I love that color pink.
This is a nice pink.
Like an azalea.
I like that it isn't too salmon, because like sometimes they do the salmon and it looks like I have pink eye, whereas this is nice and I like that it has a little bit of radiance.
Makes my eyes look more green.
Yeah, that's true. You like pink, so I felt like you would enjoy testing this out. Okay, what's your first impression of this color?
I like it.
You like it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I would be afraid that it might make me look like I have rosacea or something like that, but it's very different, cooler tone of pink.
I would say like these shadows, they are shimmery, but they're not glittery. Like if you kind of shake your head, like shake your head no with your eyes closed. Yeah, you can kind of see like that sheen, but notice how you don't see any harsh glitter particles there, which I think is really nice. All right, so I'm gonna go into this shade right here, just like I did on my look, except for my mom, I'm gonna be using a smaller brush. This is the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy 504. And I'm using this just because her eyes are a little bit of a different shape than mine, and they're just like a little bit more hooded. And so I'm using a more precise brush. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of concentrate that color more so on the outside of the eye, just to add like a little bit more depth. Part of me kind of wishes that this color was a little bit different from the other one, or maybe more of a matte, but I get that they're like trying to go for more of that springy type of look. It's so fun to do your makeup. Like I never get to do this. All right, what do you think so far?
I like it.
Okay.
I'm curious now what you're going to do with that purple one. Did you put any underneath my eye?
No, not yet. I'm gonna like clean up any fallout afterwards.
Okay.
Next up, friends, I'm gonna go into the deepest shade in the palette here with an Angie Hot and Flashy A505 brush. This is a little bit more precise. In my demo, I used the little applicator. If I'm doing somebody else's makeup, it's a lot easier to use the brush. So I'm just going to kind of work this into the lash line here. I'll probably do it like a little bit softer for you. And now I'm going to take another one of those Angie Hot and Flashy brushes and I'm going to dip into the white shade, and I'm going to use this to kind of brighten up the center of the lid, kind of going over a little bit some of the purple. I feel like this is really great to just kind of layer on top and in the inner corner. And I'm going to hit right here in kind of like the deepest part of the inner corner, and I'm going to brush it upwards just a little bit to kind of like lift the eye. Wow, I really like the way that the white shade looks on your lid.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like the white shade makes this palette. Yeah, there's several other brands that have been doing these types of kind of iridescent topper shades. So I think it's a little bit of a trend, but it's a trend that I really like. So right now I'm just cleaning up underneath the eyes. I went in with a little bit of the NARS Creamy Concealer in Cafe au Lait, and I'm using another Incheon flashy brush right here. This is the A506. This is the concealer brush. And what I've done is I just kind of sculpted the eye upward here, kind of cleaning up a little bit of the fallout that we got. And now to further finish the look, I'm gonna take the pearls in the 02 shade and another little shader brush, or little blending brush rather. This is the A502 from BK Beauty, and we're gonna use the finishing powder to finish the eye look. I'm going to use this and just blend all around the edges. We're gonna sort of set the concealer here. Just like you said earlier, Mom, like, can I set that area of your face? You can definitely do that. It just kind of softens this look right here. Because, you know, sometimes with these pinks, like if they're a little bit more vibrant, you don't want like a stark contrast between your brow bone and the start of the eyeshadow. So I always find, especially for me because I'm so fair, just going in with some finishing powder like this is always really good.
That's a great technique.
Yeah, but I feel like that made such a difference.
I'm so surprised. It looks really nice.
Yeah, you like it?
Well, it sort of makes my eyes look bigger laterally.
Right.
Sort of taking the attention off of the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Larger, wider eyes.
I mean, you don't have small eyes, but yeah, it definitely like kind of opens everything up. Now, friends, if you don't know, my mom is a big fan of the Hourglass setting powders. So that's one of the reasons why I thought we would try these powders on her today. Which ones do you think you like best?
You mean between this and the Hourglass?
Yeah.
No, I think that this pearl-like quality, this slightly iridescent, it results in like an alabaster polished look. I think that's
you like this
really
slightly better?
Yes.
I think the Hourglass ones are a little bit more subtle and they're more like flesh toned. So
definitely.
what I would recommend to all of you, if you're trying to figure out what shade works best or which one to buy, if you feel like these are gonna maybe just create too much of a cast on your skin, or if you feel like none of the undertones are really gonna match well, or if you want something a little bit more subtle, I would go with the Hourglass. But if you really like, you know, more of this, like you said, kind of like a pearlized glow, then I would go with the Guerlain. All right, friends, and this is the final look with the finishing powders and the eyeshadow. We are gonna do a quick little lip.
I love it, especially for spring. I've been craving something lilac-y pink, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. I'm so proud of myself in this look that I did. We have the Lisa Eldridge lip liner in the shade Muse. This is my mom's. As you can see, she's already used up a good amount of this. I'm just gonna lightly line her lips. Okay, lips are lined, and then we're gonna go in with this lipstick. This is one of the Merit matte lipsticks, and this is in the shade Sunday. It is this beautiful pink shade, and it is Sunday today, so I feel like it's appropriate. So you can apply that. That's a nice spring shade. How do you like the texture of that?
Nice.
You like it? Creamy?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any like grittiness?
No.
I love that shade on you.
Feels very creamy though.
Yeah.
Because I don't like my lips to feel dry. So
Yeah.
this is
Here, let me put a little bit on. I like that. This is kind of like almost like my lips, but pinker. I might need this shade. I might need to get this in the Sephora sale. Yay, now we match. All right, friends, so these are the final looks on myself and also my beautiful mom. Comment down below, let us know what you think of the powders and the eyeshadows on both of our skin types and skin tones. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys to see everything in natural light on both of us. Now we're gonna finish things up with just a couple of final thoughts, starting off with the Météorites. So my final thoughts are that I really, really like them. I love the packaging. I think it is absolutely delectable. It is display worthy. I really like the colors. I really do think that we need more shades of these. I don't know if 4 shades is really enough for all skin tones, but the ones that we tested today, I do really like on both of our skin tones and our skin types. I also really like the new scent. We actually did a little bit of like a before and after with the old Météorites and these Météorites, and everybody in our household preferred the new scent. It just smells a little bit more mature, a little bit less like baby powdery. Not that the old scent was bad, but I just think that this one, it's a little bit softer, muskier, and I just enjoy the experience a little bit more. I was a little bit hesitant about ordering 3 shades, but I honestly really like every single one. What do you think?
I agree.
You agree? And you think that you would buy all 3?
Yes.
Are you gonna buy all 3 after this? Pretty much every time we do a video together, she wants every single piece of makeup. Yeah, she wants every single one. And I feel
I would
like
never have gotten them on my own. I wouldn't occur to me.
I feel like this type of product, you don't really know why you need it until somebody shows you. The proof is in the powder, guys, okay? So I guess we both feel the same about this. And now for our final thoughts on the eyeshadow palette. I will say I actually like this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I was really excited about this palette when I saw the promotion photos and I saw the photo of the beautiful model wearing all these colors. Then when I saw the actual palette, I was like a little bit hesitant because I don't know, it just doesn't really look all that special in the pan at all. All 3 of these colors, I know that they're different, but they look like they're all in the same color family. So I was like, okay, I don't really know if this is gonna end up being all that great. But I will say, when we put it on our eyes, I do think it looks like the model photo on both of us. I have to say, I absolutely love the way it looks on the eyes. Do I like this formula and this color better than Majestic Rose from the Permanent line? If I had to choose between them, like if you don't already have any Guerlain eyeshadows, I would probably go with Majestic Rose. I think it's just a little bit more like classic for every day, but I think that this is a really good companion palette because you have some more shimmer and sparkle and like iridescence to play around with. So comment down below if you guys want to see me do a video where maybe I combine both of those palettes. I think that I like that formula just a little bit better, but this one, as my mom called it earlier, is like very suede, very like silky smooth, very soft on the eye. What do you think?
Well, I can't compare it to the other line, so I like this.
You like this?
Yes.
And how would you compare this up against maybe some of your other pink palettes? Because my mom really likes pink palettes. She has the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. She has the Lisa Eldridge Muse palette. I feel like you have a couple. How do you think that this one is different?
I think that the iridescent quality is a little more, as I said before, pearl-like, suede-like, not quite as glittery as the other ones you just mentioned. Tom Ford is another one that I use a lot.
Oh yeah, the Hazy Sensuality.
I think that's what
that's the one that you have.
They're all nice.
Yeah, they're all nice. This one's a little bit more purpley because of these shades. Yeah, in general, I was like very pleasantly surprised. I really, really like the way that it looks on both of us. I love these spring looks. And yeah, those are all of our final thoughts, friends. If you like this video, please don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. Comment down below once again. Let me know all of your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and we will see you in our next one. Goodbye.